What's up, creators? It's your girl KIRB3YZ. First and foremost, happy Black History Month to my melanated kings and queens. Second, it's the month that holds the day everyone has been avoiding and anticipating at the same time, Valentine's Day. So we know there's a bunch of love content out there already, so let me go ahead and just add mine real quick with a quick story time. Alright, starting in 2006, I was in 10th grade, and I was meeting this guy. We're going to call him Kyle for the sake of the story. He was a freshman, and he was like that goofy, nerdy, always wanted to hang out with my group of girls, but he was very respectful and all that, so keep that in mind. Okay, I was talking to a guy a year prior when I was a freshman, but it never really got off the ground. It was like talking stage, he strung me along, breadcrumbing kind of thing, okay? Now, one day after 2 months of my sophomore year and just meeting Kyle, about 3 weeks of us all hanging out together, Kyle was giving hints to my friends that he liked me and he decided that he wanted to make me his girlfriend. Note, he just broke up with his girlfriend not too long ago and I was still talking to that same dude who was stringing me along, okay? Now, mind you, I never had a boyfriend and I was very new to the dating scene, no experience. So one day he asked me, after he already talked to my friends saying he was planning on asking me, I said yes. The rest of the school day, I felt really awkward because I didn't feel the same way about him, unfortunately. And we didn't form a close friendship. We didn't hang out outside of school, nothing like that. There was no prior dates, nothing. And he was giving me go home Roger vibes, I'm not gonna lie. But it was like less annoying, you know? Alright, so by the end of the day, he decided to give me his grandma's ring. Yes, you heard it right, grandma's ring. That escalated real quick. Yeah, I know. So I'm freaking out in a panic kind of way because how did I go from like having my first boyfriend to him giving me his grandma's ring as a promise ring? And I told him not to give it to me because number one, it's a very special ring, and number two, it's way too soon in the relationship, you know what I mean? So by the time I got onto the bus when I was going home from school, I sat and thought about it and I decided to call Kyle up and break up with him because yeah, I didn't have a good feeling about it. But when I called him and before I could say anything, he told his mom, his sister, his friends about me, and I got very emotional and nervous because I know what I had to do. I didn't want to do it. And I didn't want to string him along or pretend, and I was still hung up on the other guy, unfortunately, because I wanted me and the other guy to work out. It just didn't, you know. Yes, I had to break up with him, so I broke the news to him, and yes, we both cried. We interrupt this program to bring you Kirby Z Collection. Hey creators, to support the channel, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon page. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out the Kirby Z Collection online shop. We got keychains, t-shirts, and more. You know you want to. Link is in the description below. Now back to the video. Even if it was after 5 hours of the shortest relationship I have ever been in, and probably him too, because this all happened in one day. Okay, so the next day at school and going forward, we just distanced from each other and we didn't speak for some time. And I think a year went by and we were both dating and breaking up with different people by then. And then one day, my friends and I decided to sneak out of the house just to drive around and see if there were any parties to go to. Now, note, I got picked on a lot for being, you know, too cautious to sneak out and all that because I was like the good nerdy kid or whatever. So it was, most of the time it was my friend's idea, not mine. Okay, so before I got in the car, they told me, hey, you remember Kyle? And I was like, yeah. What about it? And they're like, well, we got Kyle in the car with us. And that's awkward, man. That's so awkward. So I said, that's fine. So they picked me up and then we started riding around and we started driving around looking for this party. And this is like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, mind you. So we decided to park the car at some point and just talk. And somehow we all got onto the topic of me and Kyle. And they were saying, hey, y'all never kissed back then, you know? And it's true, because we didn't. So, since we're juniors now, this is like a year and some change later, so me and Kyle were embarrassed, and it did stir up flirtatious feelings between me and him, and he wasn't dating anybody, I wasn't dating anybody, so they dared us to kiss, and we ended up kissing. Yeah. So, in front of everybody in the car, mind you. So, fast forward to the next day at school, I was trying to avoid Kyle because he was telling my friends he wanted to talk to me all that day, and he finally caught me after school, and I already knew what he wanted to talk to me about. So, by the time we started talking, he brought up the classic, "What are we?" And me at the time, yeah, I wasn't trying to be mean or wasn't trying to blame him. So I told him we were nothing because, okay, number one, we never established anything. And number two, it would have just been a relationship based off of a dare. And we didn't have reciprocal feelings for each other because he liked me and I didn't like him. And I didn't want to string him along. I didn't want to lie to him, you know? So, but I apologized for the kiss. And he told me not to be, sorry or anything because it was something that me and him both wanted to do at the time. It was like the heat of the moment and all that. And it just sucked because yes, it was mutual, but the problem was, like I said, he had feelings for me and I didn't feel a spark even after a year later, and it kind of sucks because it just led to like mixed feelings for him and it just sucked overall, But we both were like emotional and we cried because we actually did have a lot of fun with each other when we were hanging out with everybody, like in a group and everything. But it's just everything got so rushed, man. And I don't like to play with someone's feelings because I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels. And that's why I ended things very quickly before they even snowballed into something. And it would have been something me and him didn't want, and it wouldn't be fair to him, and it wouldn't be fair to me. So that's why I had to take the liberty of just like ending it, And it just, no one likes to be the bad guy, but I'd rather just do that so it just won't become a problem later on, you know what I mean? And it sucks, but somebody got to do it, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was the last time anything happened between me and him, and we eventually grew up, and I haven't seen him, probably since maybe 2016, 2017, and I'm talking just like, walking past somebody, seeing him in a grocery store type of thing or whatever. But overall, he was like really sweet, nothing bad to say, except for the fact that he was like, young and annoying a little bit, but that was because we were in high school. But he ended up getting married at like a very, very, very young age. Like I'm talking like straight out of high school, if not in high school, being engaged. And I did not want that. I knew he knew what he wanted. So this was kind of like I guess you could call it like a right guy, wrong time, I guess. Because if I was like in that mindset back then, because y'all gotta remember, like during this time, like probably a year and a half later, since we were juniors, and then the following year and a half, probably like a year, almost 2 years, whatever. That's when I was pregnant with Zay. So I'm glad it happened the way it happened anyway, I guess. But I would have been very, very young. I'm talking maybe 19, 20 years old, married. And no shade to anybody that did get married that quick. It just wasn't what I wanted. Everyone has their own timing for things, and I didn't want that. And I don't even know if he wanted to get married that quick. I think, I'm just saying, because after the grandma's ring, I was freaked out. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a sweet gesture, but like, bro, that's your grandma's ring. That is very extremely special. Very, very, very. And I was like, as much as even I wanted to like get married back then as a high schooler and all that, but like when it shows up that early, I was like, whoa. But yeah, he now has kids and all that. And I'm just happy that he got, his happily ever after eventually. You know what I mean? I'm like, now that we're adults, I don't even know if he's still married. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery, but I'm just hoping that he's out there happy somewhere. So yeah. And yeah, that's my Valentine's Day story time. And I guess the moral of the story is don't rush into things when you're not ready. You know, just don't do it. And don't date someone that just broke up with their girlfriend 2 weeks prior and you only know them for like a month. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. If anything, take your time when you are getting to know, and I mean anyone, because it will start on a false foundation. Because if you build a house on a false foundation, it is bound to crumble, okay? So if any guy or any girl is trying to love bomb you, they already want to do this. And I'm not saying that Kyle love bombed, but we were kids. I'm talking now. I'm just talking now, okay? Don't let just don't rush anything. You have to get your information. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is my advice for Valentine's Day. Speaking of advice, drop some love advice down in the comments below and what love taught you. And I want to hear from y'all's love stories in the comments below as well. Let me know if you've been through a unrequited love situation like this, or maybe you went through a Romeo and Juliet situation, forbidden love, friends and family are against each other, and you two against the world. You name it. I want to know if you can relate. Just put it down in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up for, of course, Black History Month. One time for my people. This is the month not to get out of anybody's way when you're going through the grocery store aisle. Do you feel me? This is the time to celebrate your ancestors and remember our history. And she is all done. Y'all will be seeing more of my avatar. She is the true Kirby Z. But all right, I want to thank y'all so much for watching, and I wanted to just wish y'all a whole happy Valentine's Day, regardless if you're single or in a relationship. And thank you to those who sent the fan art. I really appreciate it. It's so cute. And you can send your fan art to my email, kirbyzofficial@gmail.com, and I'll post it, or it'll be in a video. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and thank you to my amazing Patreons. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.